It's Matt Roush.
And Mike Brennan.
And you're watching the M Squared TechCast, MITechNews.TV.
And speaking of regular contributors, we have Dave Weaver joining us again. And Dave is with CitySide Ventures and Birmingham Angels. Started Great Lakes Angels, gosh, when I was just a young man, I think. It's been a long time, right, Dave?
I think we all were.
Yeah, you were in diapers.
I was in diapers, so I'm, just turned 39 last week myself.
Oh, well, then if you were in diapers, I must have been a zygote or something. I'm not sure.
So anyway, you got a new wrinkle going. You have, starting tomorrow, I believe, you have a virtual Shark Tank-like event that you're going to be offering and to entrepreneurs out there that are looking to get plugged into private investors, angel investors. Why don't you talk a little bit about what you guys are up to tomorrow?
Okay. We've been running for Birmingham Angels more or less monthly showcases, picking 3 or 4 companies that we've done some due diligence on that would we think are funding ready, and then the company's pitched, and then there's follow-up meetings to decide if they want to go in the deal or not, and then we act pretty quickly. Most of the deals we've done so far have been closed within 60 days of the time they pitched, which is amazing track record. So for tomorrow, we decided to add in front of the showcase a bunch of companies, mostly Michigan-based. So in the first session, we have some companies from Israel, a company from Poland that's got a location in Toronto that's pitching as well because of the time zone changes, to get them on the deck early before they're in bed with the rest of the day for us. And so we've got a full day. We've got 20 some companies pitching. And like I say, they're all over the country, all over the technology sectors. We've already started, because it's full, we've already had people applying for the next event on March 23rd. There's a link at our website under CitySide Ventures to look for the deal tank. And there you can scroll down, you can find information on the March and April events and get on that. So it's 2 things. If you're an investor and you want to see a lot of good cherry pick deals, this is a way to cherry pick during the day on and off. You don't have to be there for the whole day. You pick the time and the deal you want to see, get on, get off. But the main ones will be at the end of the day that have more due diligence done on them. But it's an open flow. We've got companies in California, investors in California, and we're going to have a lot of fun. This is our first one. We plan on doing more of them. I think we need more companies with a lot of eyeballs seeing what's going on. And also, if you're an entrepreneur, you get a chance to see how other people pitch. Learn a lot from what they've done, what they should have said, and what comes up in the Q&A with the investors. Go. I need to think about that for my pitch. It's very helpful.
So how did you assemble this list of companies? Where did you recruit them from?
Well, that's not the hard part. Once people find out that you're writing checks and you're writing them quickly and frequently, the deals come. But we also reach out to our colleagues across the state and some folks outside the state that have a lot of deals. We recently partnered with one of the companies that's going to be interviewed tomorrow on the West Coast that does over 1,000 deals a year, just about. Wow. And they're going to send us deals that they seed early on with maybe less than 50K. So they're in real early, but they need more behind that. So they might have deals they can send to us. And they're good deals. So yeah, we've got folks from outside the state sending us deals. Like I mentioned, Techstars in Toronto's got some, but across the state, all the age groups and the smart zones and stuff like that are going to be glad to know we've got more exposure for them. We don't care where they are in the state of Michigan. We'd love to get them on our platform and have more eyeballs seeing what's going on.
Is there a certain criteria you're looking for? Do these need to be revenue generating, pre-seed, idea on the back of a napkin? Exactly what?
Yeah, well, we'd like to have them have at least one full-time in the company, person in the company, okay? And that they're working on the proof of concept. If they've got early revenue, all the better. Or if they need this funding to get them a revenue, that's all right if the business model makes sense and the team behind it makes sense. So most of the deals we've done so far are pre-revenue. Tomorrow during the day, we're going to be interviewing some of our portfolio companies that are doing well, and you can hear about what they're doing. a chance to see what they do after they get their money and how they keep moving forward in spite of the COVID constraints that they've had to deal with in 2020.
Matt?
All right. So, where do you expect to find are the people who are going to be investing in this? Is it angel investors? Is it small institutional investors? What
No,
kind of group do you think will be
actually,
writing
we
the
have
checks?
most of the investors logged on right now are individual angel investors. We do have some folks logged on that represent some age groups here in Michigan. We also have some family offices that we reached out to that are looking to see deals as well, early stage deals coming on board. We've been reaching out to family offices ourselves for follow-on funding behind our deals, because if we can't take the whole round, we want to make sure it gets done as soon as possible. So some of those folks have got more capital to deploy, can help fill around pretty quickly if they like it, especially we've done the due diligence for them and they like what we've done.
Now, I know angel investors typically are in the 150,000, maybe if it's a really good deal, 250. So what sort of ballpark do you think these potentially, some of these, obviously not all of them are going to make the cut, but those that do, what do you think that the funding levels are going to probably be?
Well, I'll answer that. First, I'll mention that the way it's set up tomorrow is that at the end of each session, there's like four in a group and there's no sessions during the day. We're going to ask for everybody that's an investor to indicate which companies they have interest in. And then I'll set up follow-up meetings with the companies and those investors. We'll do that each time during the day so we can keep this thing going. If there's interest, you want to stay on top of the interest level, especially if you're raising money. You don't want to take too long getting back to people and say, yes, I'm interested, because they'll move on. And then the size of the checks is going to depend on who it is. I know our investors write checks anywhere from 15 to 25 to 100K. All depends on how strong you feel about the deal and how much discretionary money they have to play with at that particular time. We like to do SPVs, special purpose vehicles, so people can come in into one investment document that becomes a single name on the cap table for companies. They like that rather than have 20 individual names. If they can have 10 people in one investment vehicle, it's a lot easier to negotiate moving forward, especially when VCs come in. They don't want to see 50 individual investors on the deal. They have to close and do terms with all those people. It's a nightmare. So we do SPVs. We've got one we're just closing now from January that we had invested in. Here it is, the end of February. So we're moving quickly.
All right. How has COVID affected what you do? I know you've been putting together these things for years and years now. Is it just been simply a matter of moving to meetings like this, or
Yeah,
I know you used to? I mean, going way back, you used to have like dinners at the Birmingham Country Club for people.
Yeah, Birmingham Country Club, the Athletic Club, number of places, and I'm actually in our office space above Walgreens downtown Birmingham right now, where Jeff Sloan has Startup Nation there. We sublease some space there. That's where we used to have our angel meetings with Birmingham Angels. Once COVID came into place, the pandemic, we had to go virtual. And actually, in some ways, it's actually improved the attendance. Because a lot of times you'll have a meeting at the end of the day and you have people leaving their job to go to the meeting, might get caught in traffic or have a last minute thing pop up. But now that they can log on from home or work, we've had more people show up at these things because they don't have the nightmare of traffic and commuting and getting home late, explaining why they were late. They're at some meeting that their wife doesn't understand what the hell is going on, or their spouse or whoever. So yeah, more people actually attend these things now because it's more convenient. And we do video record all these events so that people that miss it, if you're a member of Birmingham Angels, you can go back and see the information on our deal platform called Side Pitch.
You anticipated my next question, because I can't speak for anybody other than myself. I couldn't spend the whole day online watching deals and keep up with everything else that I'm supposed to be doing. So people can go in at post-event and be able to, and how long are these pitches? They're going to be 5-10 minutes, something like that?
The ones until the very end of the day are 10 minutes pitch and 5 minutes Q&A.
Okay.
And as I might have mentioned earlier, if I didn't, if somebody logs on, they still can log on, today or first thing in the morning for tomorrow. You can pick and choose which events you want to observe as you're an investor or a startup company, and get on and off as you so choose. No, I'm, the only one's gonna be there all day is like Duran and myself.
Yeah.
So
You
what are
have the
the
time.
what are the industries that are going to be represented at this thing?
Um, there's some, oh boy, you got me unprepared to think about how to answer that one. I know we've got a number of SaaS models. We do have some life science companies. Um, I think there's one or two automotive space related companies.
Hmm.
The list is on our website. Everybody can take a look. I'm
right.
sorry I didn't bring up the list in front of me.
No, that's okay.
Which brings up a good point. Why don't you give that address right now? Because people can still sign up to watch this tomorrow, I assume, right?
Yes. Is there a place I put in the chat box or just read it?
No, just go ahead and tell us, and then we'll include that when I edit the video.
If you go CitySideVentures.com /the space deal or hyphen rather, deal hyphen tank hyphen feb. So the deal tank with hyphens in it, feb at the end. Or just go there, CitySide Ventures, and then look for the deal tank, and you can drop down and find it there.
And I'm sure Mike will put that website address up, a link to it on his website, right, Mike?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So hopefully the deals themselves won't tank, but you modeled this after Shark Tank in a way, I assume. Yes?
Yeah, well, that's why I use the name tank. You know, it's
Yes.
the Shark Tank, it's the deal tank. That one's been taken, but yeah, well, we're not going to be as hard on these folks. And right now, they're not going to walk away with checks, but later on, we'd like to get this thing going where we have some sponsors to have some kind of reward, financial reward for the folks. But if they get funding, that's just as good than winning a contest.
Yeah, right at the meeting. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So we're excited. No one else is doing it to stay with this variety and many deals in one day. And all the contestants are very excited about it. I've got some investors looking at this as well.
There may be bigger or at least angel investors groups with more members, but certainly you are one of the more visible ones. I've tried to work with some of the other angel groups like I work with you, and it's like you run into a brick wall. They don't want anything to do with anything publicity wise, right? Which I think is a mistake on their part because it seems to work pretty well for you guys.
Well, we'd like to be transparent. In 2020, I think we only had like 9 meetings, but we funded like 14 deals.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody else in the state did 14 deals, and I don't care how many meetings they had, and we want to do more this year. We'd like to triple that. So we want to get more money out in the eco space, keep these companies here in Michigan, grow wealth for the founders and for the investors.
Additional 4-year students love Lawrence Technological University's thriving campus life, but LTU has always met non-traditional students' needs too. Lawrence Tech offers over 100 degree and certificate programs that can get adult students started or back on track. And most of our classes are conveniently offered evenings at our beautiful Southfield campus or online, so you can balance your social, family, and work life even while you power up your career. Lawrence Tech, where Blue Devils dare.